Impeachment trial part 2. Trump impeachment 2.0 is going on. It's dramatic. They're playing videos.
Unseen footage, never before seen.
Footage. Unseen footage. Senators getting escorted out. I haven't watched a lick of the trial. Shannon, what say you?
I literally watched a tiny bit. I only heard when one of Trump's lawyers were speaking, and I wish that I had pulled up some quotes that I could read off. Maybe I'm gonna look for some if you want to just give your thoughts.
Yeah,
and then I'll look for it.
So just real quick before you do your little research, was you not watching the impeachment trial because of just forgetting?
No. I didn't forget. I knew it was happening, and like I tuned in from time to time. I just didn't watch like the whole thing.
Okay, so I'm boycotting the impeachment trial.
Why?
I want that to be known. I am boycotting the impeachment trial because this entire thing is fake news. The entire thing is fake news.
How so?
Right? In multiple facets. And I want Black people to really hear me during this next minute or two that I'm monologuing here. I know I'm going to come across as a defender of Trump, but I would ask you to just open your mind just for a couple of seconds. Just open your mind to what I'm saying and see my full position. I knew this trial was going to play out the way it was going to play out because there was no connection to Trump inciting these people by the Supreme Court standard that we have already on the books, right? It doesn't matter what he intended. It doesn't matter. You have to prove that there was a clear directive given to incite what happened on January 6th. There is no such evidence that proves that's true. What you're watching play out, the Democrats, they're putting these videos out there of these long 12, 13-minute videos of people, in the Capitol, hunting people, trying to hang Mike Pence, right? They're trying to drum up emotion, right? They're trying to drum up emotion to convince the American public so that they are more in favor of impeachment, which will push the Republicans to impeach Donald Trump. Because here's why I'm saying this whole thing is a farce. There is a 90% chance Donald Trump is not going to be found guilty at the end of this trial. That's why I'm saying this entire thing is a farce, but it comes with consequences that I don't think African Americans are aware of. Court cases don't exist in a vacuum. People forget that. Court cases do not exist in a vacuum. There's a reason why whenever we're looking to establish new laws, we check to see previous cases to see what precedent was set, right? We have previous incitement laws, previous incitement court cases that we go to whenever someone today is accused of incitement. And so if Donald Trump is found guilty of incitement based off of this emotional ass evidence, it sets a new precedent. It expands, the definition of incitement. Shannon, true or false, have you not heard language that was equally or more aggressive at protests during the previous summer, during the Black Lives Matter stuff, than you did on the Capitol?
One more time.
Have you heard?
Are you talking about what Trump said specifically, or what are you talking about?
No, Trump is on trial for incitement.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Have you heard language from Black activists at Black rallies during this last summer, or even go way back to like Michael Brown, right? Just think of all of the speeches and stuff you heard. Have you heard language that was as aggressive as Trump's speech on January 6th, or more aggressive than Trump's speech on January 6th? Yes or no?
I didn't even hear Trump's speech, TBH. So I don't know. I can't answer that. But I have heard. Have you heard speeches from Black activists? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have heard similar type speeches, yes, but I just can't compare it to Trump's speech.
Totally get it. Mm-hmm. Here's my point. If Donald Trump is convicted of incitement, it expands the legal definition of incitement. We have a new precedent on what type of speech can be viewed as incitement. right? Now, what she hasn't heard Donald Trump's speech. I read parts of Donald Trump's speech that took place on January 6th. And so if we both agree that we've heard language at Black rallies that has been as passionate, quote unquote, or even more inflammatory, right? What do you think is going to happen the next time there is a speech by a Black leader or Black activist, and then there is those type of riots or unrest that took place this past summer, where people was burning down pharmacies and burning down businesses and doing all types of violent stuff, right? That leader or that Black person, Black man or Black woman, can then be charged with incitement because we have expanded the definition of incitement. I'm looking at this big picture, right? I do not hate that man enough to create my own news, so to speak. And I think a lot of Black people are doing that. They are so emotional about Trump. And I don't know why, to be honest with you. The man is gone. He's not president anymore. But they are so emotionally triggered by Trump that they aren't looking at this case objectively. And if by some small chance Donald Trump is convicted, we are the ones moving forward that are going to be in trouble. That it's going to be us, because we have then expanded the definition of incitement. And I just wanted my position to be out there. And today is, what's today's date? February 11th, 2021. Because once this happens, by the way, I want my credit. Oh, damn, Jabaya was right. Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead.
No. I understand Jabaya, I understand where you're coming from. I even though what was I gonna say? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought.
Even though you despise Trump,
I understand what.
Good.
I do despise Trump, and I do. I mean, he didn't directly tell these people to break into the Capitol and do such and such and such. But like I know what you're saying. So even everything I say now is not gonna make any logical sense compared to what you said, because he still did tell them to, he basically called them to action. But I know he didn't tell them to break into the Capitol. So I understand what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And I know that there is a very high chance that he probably will not be convicted.
He's not getting convicted.
So, no, I know. Just like last time. So I agree. I mean, not that I agree, but I understand your point.
There would have to be some huge reveal that I don't know about of some, they would have to have like a phone call where Donald Trump is talking to
one of them,
somebody. Mm-hmm. Hey, all right, so as soon as I get to this part of my speech, I need y'all to go in there and storm that goddamn Capitol building, right? Outside of that, he's not getting impeached. And so this entire thing is just political theater. That is all this is. It's political theater. People are getting emotional. And the Democrats, they know what they're doing. They are playing this content, trying to make the people, because once again, they haven't brought to the forefront any evidence that shows incitement. Well, once again, I don't care about Trump's intentions. I don't care, what he meant. It doesn't matter. We have a legal standard. And I do not hate that man enough to create a new legal standard that casts a wider net on Americans, because you know how colorful Black people get when we get passionate, speaking at rallies and stuff. Talking, I have consistently heard that, in order for, Black people to progress, we have to tear this country down and build it up in our own image, right? You've heard that a bunch of times. Somebody says that, so Trump's guilty, new president, a new precedent. Somebody says what I just said. Then at night, a bunch of looters and rioters, they burn down businesses, they loot businesses. That Black leader can't be charged with incitement. In fact, they tried to do that with Black leaders in the 60s. Charged them with incitement when riots did happen after speeches given by prominent Black Americans. And I just think we need to be more mindful of that before we just trying to, rewrite the rules and lock Trump up. Okay, well, is it really worth locking Trump up if you lay down 5 or 6 more tripwires for yourself?
That's true. I understand your point. I think they really want it so that he doesn't run again, though, is what their goal is.
Real quick, I just did a quick Google. Guess who was accused of inciting violence?
Who?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh yeah,
This is just how easily things can go down, and I don't understand why And this is why
I think they really just I don't think it's about him going to jail. I just think that they really don't want him to run again in 4 years. I mean, neither do I. But I think that's what their overall goal is.
no, that's obvious.
Yeah.
This entire trial is about two things. One, grievance, right? I said this before. They are upset that this happened to them. This is personal for Democrats, right? Their lives were in trouble. For the first time in their life, Shannon, for most of these people, for the first time in their life, they feared for their life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It ain't like us growing up when we grew up, Shannon, how many times in your life were you scared that you might get shot?
That I might what? That I might die?
No, get shot.
Never.
Assaulted.
A few times.
4 or 5.
Maybe like 3. Maybe 4.
3 times.
I don't know.
So there's been 4 times where you thought there was a reasonable chance that you could get assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what this is for them. Mm-hmm. They could have legitimately been harmed on what happened January 6th. And I'm not even downplaying that it was a traumatic experience. It probably was a traumatic experience. But no, it was not 9/11. No, it was not Pearl Harbor or any of these other previous historical events that this incident keeps getting compared to. This is personal for them, number one. And number two, to Shannon's point, they want to prevent Donald Trump from running again in 4 years because they know they barely sneaked this out. In fact, I mean,
it wasn't 9/11 or Pearl Harbor. It was a huge breach of security, though. But I know what you're trying to say. Continue.
Yes. Damn near everyone who died was old, and they died from like heart attacks.
I'm just talking about I'm not talking about like the human life part of it, because that's not comparable to 9/11 or Pearl Harbor. Of course, obviously not. But I'm just talking.
But even a scope, because I feel fine.
Okay.
I'm just saying, when 9/11 happened, I was like, God damn. Like even people who didn't even live in New York was like, oh my God, what happened? People
did you even understand what was happening when 9/11? We were so young.
And I remember because I left. It was the first time the school let me leave by myself.
Yeah. Oh, they let you live by yourself?
Yeah.
They didn't let me leave by myself. We had to wait for our parents to go get us.
No, it was me and my little brother. And so
they let you leave by yourself? Weren't we in like 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I knew this must be bad. And so
yeah, I had to wait for my dad to come pick us up. But I still didn't really even know what was going on.
I'm sure I didn't have the full context in my mind, but I remember coming home and my father was in the living room watching the TV, and I was like, well, this is definitely weird because my father is never home.
Mm-hmm.
He's always working.
Yeah.
And so when I came and I saw him watching the TV, I saw like just the World Trade Center and smoke, and then I went into my parents' room, and every station was playing the towers getting hit except for 2 stations, I think, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Okay. Yes. Probably
right?
Disney Channel too. I don't know.
Disney. It was 3.
Yes.
But I think that was important. I think it was like kids could have something to watch instead of watching this traumatic shit.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I remember. But look, my only point is that's what this is about. This is about preventing Donald Trump from running again in 4 years because they barely sneaked this out this past election. If not for an act of God, which is what the pandemic was.
But don't you think that's? I mean, I know that it doesn't really make sense for him. I know what you're saying about him not directly inciting any violence by him not directly saying it, but I feel like there needs to be some level of accountability for this. Like, this was it was still a huge event. Like, tons of people stormed into a high security building, and it could have been a lot worse. Like, what if somebody planted bombs, which they were trying to? It could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Shannon, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying though, there needs to be a level.
Your attitude is the problem.
No. I'm saying that there needs to be a level of accountability for it. It could have been a lot worse.
So you tell me what should happen then?
I'm just okay.
No, I'm asking the question because the argument you're making is
somebody needs to go down for it. That's all I'm saying.
And see, I respect you for admitting it because basically what you're saying is there's no legal reason for him to be on trial, but I feel like he did something wrong, and so he should be punished. That is what's happening here. There's no legal argument for incitement. It's just he did this bad thing happened. Trump played a role in it, which he did. That said, did you see the Times article that came out about I think it's the Time article, not New York Times. The Time article basically admitting to collusion.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there was a Time article written basically. It wasn't saying that there was election fraud as far as votes being flipped or withheld, but the entire article was written saying that there was like this cooperation going on between CEOs of companies and tech giants and stuff to make sure the election went the right way.
Oh.
We are living in shady times.
I mean, no doubt that we're living in shady times. Of course we are.
Yeah, and they snuck this out because of an act of God. Because I'm telling you, if not for coronavirus, Donald J. Trump will be repeating a second term right now. And they know it deep down in their soul, they know it. And so, like Shannon said, that's what's driving this stuff. But I think as Black people, we need to see the bigger picture because the state doesn't care about left wing or right wing. Like the state just wants more power so that they can surveil us and watch us and charge people. And we are condoning this stuff now. Black people are condoning no-fly list and things of that nature.
You don't think that there should be a no-fly list?
What gets you on a no-fly list?
Attempted terrorism? I don't know.
Okay, so you're saying everyone at the Capitol is an attempted terrorist?
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying all of that.
I'm just saying, okay. But who decides? Do we even know which agency decides who puts you on a no-fly list?
Homeland
Is there a trial?
I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know who.
I don't know what I'm saying? But we just sitting here like, yeah, go ahead, put them on the no-fly list. This is bad. I'm telling you, this is bad news, and I'm calling it out. And the fact that
yes, I understand what you're saying. My official position is that somebody needs to be held accountable for a major threat to security. That's all I have to say. Would you be saying the same thing if they had planted the pipe bombs and they exploded at the Capitol?
I'm still shocked that no one is talking about the pipe bombs. To this day,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, would you feel the same if the pipe bombs exploded? Yeah.
Yes. Now, okay. I will say this: he would probably be in more danger of being impeached. But to me, I would just look at it not impeached, of being found guilty. He's already impeached. He would be in danger of being found guilty. But I would still say that is an emotional decision being made. There's no evidence that he incited this because remember they found a bomb at the DNC and the RNC.
The DNC and the RNC, yeah, both. Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of hard to say that person was a Trump supporter versus this is somebody that was trying to, and that the bomber would have been the inciter, trying to incite some huge, panic and people getting trampled and killed. And so I don't know. We just have to be careful, I think, as Black people to make sure that we're looking at the big picture and not out here taking down Trump, which will lead to us getting arrested 2-3 years from now.
Okay. That's fair.
So